Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for the bronze medal final of the Singapore Sevens. Now, these two sides have already met throughout the Singapore Sevens competition. That was in the group stage, and it was the Samoans getting themselves a victory, 28 points to 7 over the Fijians. One of their highest wins, actually, in terms of the points differential. But looking through at these two sides, they've had moments that they'll be happy with throughout the season, moments that they want to improve on. Just that question, who will get that third and who will walk away with the fourth? Looking through at Samoa's starting side, it will be Va'a Pilomaleko, Vauvasa Afasua, Taunuu Nauli Vaia, Paul Scanlon, Tuna Tuitama, Fa'afoi Falaniko, and Malu Letiru actually getting the opportunity. Hasn't had too many starts throughout the Singapore Sevens competition. They have decided, why not give him a crack in this contest? Then for the Fijians, it is Suli Vuli Tuve in the starting lineup alongside Josefa Talatholo. Was able to get himself 2 tries in the semi-final match up against New Zealand. Actually, the only 2 tries the Fijians were able to score in that contest. Josesi Batetaringa, Tario Tamani, Ioani Teba, Filippo Bucayaro, and Viwa Nadovalo, who has been going very well for Fiji throughout this campaign. We'll be hoping to get himself a try in this matchup against the Samoans. I think Fiji will win by 8 points. Says Kevin, I certainly feel it will be a lot closer than it was last time. I see there that is actually Balaffa, so he must have ended up with some sort of suspension, I believe, from that last matchup where he did get himself the red card up against the New Zealanders. A little bit of an unfortunate moment in that contest. Oh, I believe it was that game, or it might have been actually the game before, that he did end up with that red card. But the Fijians, they have won 4 out of the last 5 meetings between these two sides. Only recently the Samoans breaking the 15-match losing streak that they were on, but they have momentum. They'll be disappointed to miss out for their game up against Argentina, which they were defeated during golden point time. That last-minute try from Marcos Maneta did seal the deal. Let's go, Manu Samoa, says Lose Nate. And there as well, but there are plenty of people still in attendance at the stadium. Excited to see this game and how it does play out, alongside, of course, New Zealand versus Argentina in the final. And Samoa for the win, methinks, says Kerr. Yeah, to go from losing 15 in a row to winning 2 in a row would be absolutely massive for the Samoan side. But in their last fixture, you would have to say that Samoa did look better up against Argentina than Fiji did up against New Zealand. So it's been a little bit of a 50-50 for Fiji. Lost to Samoa, lost to New Zealand. Those are the only 2 losses they have had in Singapore, whereas the Samoans, they did lose their winning streak up against the Pumas. That is the only game that they have lost throughout this campaign. And let's go, Captain Kerr. Says Blues Net, and also the coffee with the praying from Kerr. How are you going at the moment? I know you've been up for a long time. Did you manage any extra hours of sleep in between matches? You've got 2 games to go of the Sevens, and then you have to wait 32 days till we head to France and the Toulouse Sevens. Looking through at the benches, Levi Milford, Letufia, Motu Opitai, Owen Nue, and Pelosi Taupo for Samoa. Then for Fiji, it will be Waisia Nathungu, Mothinothangi, Manueli Mai Samoa, Tavira Dalgunu, and also it is Bonipate Logan Amasi. So out of those men, Nathungu was in the starting lineup for the last game. Same can be said about Mothinothangi and Mai Samoa. Both teams making quite a few changes, giving each team a bit of a spell. More players getting a bit more of a spell, but the Fijians will be kicking off this one. It is tough going, not going to lie, says Kerr. Yeah, hopefully you are able to sleep for plenty of hours. And once you do finish your work and you're able to get like 14 hours sleep, something like that, hopefully it does get the sleep schedule back on track. Now going to be kicked off here. We are now underway, ladies and gentlemen, for the bronze medal match. The winner of this one will be taking 3rd and some extra points on the board. That is the big thing for Samoa. If they want to automatically qualify for the Olympics, they probably do need this win in the scheme of things. But Vauvasa Afasua has it on the 22. Ball on the outside. Ava'a Pilomaleko. They will take it back for the 4 pass. Currently at around 64 hours on the bounce. Yeah, that is not healthy. You certainly will need some sleep. When does your work day end, Kerr? Have you almost finished the day at work? Here we go. They are just showing the table at the moment. 113 for the Fijians. In terms of the points, Samoa sitting on 96. So if Samoa do win this one, they'll burst above Australia, and I believe they'll also end up above South Africa due to the South Africans losing their last couple games, including their one up against Spain. Was a bit of an upset, but it's going to be now Bukiaro. Passes across to the left for the Fijians, 25 metres out, nice step. And beautiful offload. Here comes Bukiaro again, 5 metres out from the line. Paul Scanlon almost able to get that turnover. Good seller to dummy. Fiji through, and it's going to be the try this time for Vilawa. Good work from Fiji, scoring first in this match, which is the difference between when they did play up against the Samoans last time. It was actually Samoa getting themselves a nice, handy early try, but it was a great step. Vilawa, he did actually help set up that move alongside Filippo Bukiaro. Finished work for the day about 10 minutes ago. There's Kerr. So yeah, I highly recommend the sleep after the two finals. If you are staying up for them, that is, unless you do head to bed a bit earlier. Vilawa, he's actually scored 5 tries throughout this competition in Singapore. See the celebrations from the Fijian supporters in the stands, but that will be going over 7-0 now in favour of Fiji. Now, I said that word very weird. Statistic that they did show earlier on is that Samoa are on a 26-match winning streak, or at least they were, of winning games when they are ahead at halftime. Argentina broke that streak. There's going to be a knock-on, I believe, from Paul Scanlon. Play on, though, it seems, from the referee as the call. 10 metres out from their own line. Samoa having to commit 2 men to the breakdown just to make sure that it stays on their side. Now Va'a, Apilo Maliko getting close to the touchline, forced towards it by Nudovalo, bumps off one and gets rid of another. But the interception pass was thrown. It would have been a massive chance for the Fijians. Afasua goes on the outside, though, the Paul Scanlon, who now looks like he's going to have enough pace to be Patita Ringa. Steps on the inside. Vilawa did enough to be able to force the ball out of their hands. Ioane Tiba now thought about the offload. It goes to the left-hand side, gone over the top of the Fijian player, lurking around Filippo Bukiaro. Let's go, Manu Samoa. There's Peter, but straight through for the Fijians. Now going to be beating him for pace. The acceleration of Latiro being able to catch up with him. Now back across. Fiji just looked like a different side in this game compared to what we saw in their last game up against New Zealand. I don't know whether it was the fact that they needed that loss to kick them in the guts, but they certainly needed to find this performance in their semi-final fixture, and they could have been playing off up against Argentina in only about 20 minutes' time, as that is going to be when the final is taking place. In fact, it might be a little bit later, 11:28 p.m. New Zealand time. We will be covering that one on the channel, so anyone who is new, sure leave a like and subscribe. Bukiaro, a good low tackle made by Latero, but they just seem to be keeping that ball alive a little bit more, something that I did mention on the preview. I said that neither of these sides want the ball to touch the ground, because as soon as it does, the other team just straight in like a claw machine, taking that ball away. Another penalty, offside this time up against the Fijians. Now, Samoa broke a 15-game losing streak against Fiji in pool play by their largest margin ever. There we go. I knew it was a high one. That's going to be a big kick downfield. Fiji will be disappointed with that. The ball's actually it's bounced in the field of play off the penalty kick, and then it's rolled into touch. So they will now be down by the 22. Samoa, good chance for them as well. And like they've said, only the one medal in Samoa's trophy cabinet so far. They were able to get themselves gold medal in Cape Town, but they have been struggling to get that third place. This be the time to be able to do it. Going off to the right-hand side now, attacking once again near the Samoans. Motu Opitai. In fact, it's going to be Tuna Tuitama, number 14. 20 metres out. Across to the left-hand side now. Nice pass away to Vawasa. Afasua almost through, 5 metres out from the line. Great tackle made by it was Vuli Tuive. Off to the right. Fa'afoe Falaniko, inside ball to Scanlon. Fijian line currently very flat, which leaves the opportunity to get him behind for Nauli Vai, who makes a few extra metres in the process. Now Va'apela Maliko drives hard at the line. He will get it over the try line. And the Samoans now back into this contest. Cheers, Hamish, for Amalosi, boys, says King T. And let's go, Manu, says Peter. And there as well. And Nauli Vai done brilliantly there. Va'apela Maliko saw the opportunity on the short side, broke through the tackle attempt of Vole Tuive and also Batita Ringa. Probably actually picked out the two in the Fijian defensive line. I don't want to be harsh, but probably the two who have the most missed tackles at the moment out of their starting side. And who do you think wins the final? I did go with the prediction of New Zealand to win it 26 points to 19, I believe I went in the end. Who knows whether or not that will be close? It might be miles off. We could end up seeing like a 7 points to 5 in favor of Los Pumas. It's always a joy to watch these two play each other. Says Flesh, and exactly right. You know it's going to be a fast-paced game. Plenty of offloads, plenty of flair. I have to say that both sides in this game seem a little bit more structured than normal, which I believe is just because of how much they want to get themselves the victory. Oh, it's that unorthodox style with Fiji that normally does get them a few extra tries. I'll mention, the missed conversion means that it does remain 7 points to 5. Va'apila Maleko breaking through again. It's going to be a foot race. Ioane Teba fended twice in the head, then manages to get the offload back into the field of play. Trying to offload it up. Oh no, it was a bit of a mismatch there. I was just trying to work out who that was, but it was the number 94. Now Samoa. They managed to go out to the right-hand side. Tuna Tuitama will get the try. But yeah, Tamani, compared to the man who he was trying to jump in the air up against, there was a bit of a difference there. I lost my signal for the game on the ship. No, not near the final. Sure, hopefully it comes back for the matchup just around the corner. I feel like that would be such a harsh thing if it did have no signal for the final after staying up for so long to be able to see it. And good on you, boys, Manu. There's Peter Stowers. And also, who's the highest try scorer in Singapore? I believe Pila Maleko will be right up there. As always, he's normally relatively high. We'll actually get that stat up at halftime to let you know exactly who is sitting at the top of the bunch. Tuna Tuitama manages to get himself the try. Conversion this time is successful, I should say. It is going to be halftime now, 12 points to 7. In this matchup. So for Singapore so far, Perry Baker, in fact, my apologies, sitting there at the top of the bunch with 8 tries. For the USA, Lancaster, also Marcos Maneta, Nathan Lawson, all sitting on 5, alongside Paul Pla. Va'apila Maleko actually is way lower than I thought he was. He is sitting on, I believe he's on 4 tries, but no, he might not be. He might actually have hardly scored. Maybe he's only scoring in games we're watching. Of a trend. That's for Va'apila Maleko. And also Go. There's Blues Nate. But yeah, Perry Baker with 8 tries. So unless Marcos Maneta gets himself 4 in the matchup against New Zealand, more than likely Perry Baker will be closing out as the leading try scorer of the Singapore Sevens. But then when you look at how it's ended up setting up in the overall scheme of things, we look at the match center, and USA, don't get me wrong, scoring a lot of tries. They got 13th place in the overall standings. I predict the score between New Zealand and the Pumas, 19 for New Zealand, 15 for the Pumas. What do you think? I think that might not be a mile off. I think somewhere around that 5 points difference between the two sides. Unless, of course, it's like the last time New Zealand played the Los Pumas, and that was actually a much more one-sided affair in favor of New Zealand. They didn't seem too troubled up against Fiji, but that may have been because Fiji weren't playing too great. I should mention that Australia finished 5th. Spain finished 9th. 13th went to the USA. Those are all of the placed playoffs that have been confirmed so far. Whoever wins this game will be winning themselves the bronze. Apply the pressure on the Fiji Manu Samoa. Says Peter Stowers there. Now, second half just around the corner. These two sides, they'll be feeling the fatigue. Samoa, they played an extra 4 minutes up against the Argentines in their playoff game for the semi-final. You can still see that the celebrations are all around the Singapore crowd. They are absolutely loving it. But the Samoans, they'll be kicking off from right to left. Get us back underway for this matchup. Current score, 12 points for Fiji, 7 for the Samoans. Very nicely taken by Bukayaro. By Lima. Or by Lawa, sorry. Going back across to Josefa Talatholo, in fact, not quite getting wide enough. Instead, there is a mistake on the inside, which now allows the Samoans to find the offload away. Nauli via overall. Did he get it down? Yes, he did. Mothin Othangi, a very valiant effort, but that will now put Samoa right back into the contest. If not, maybe in the lead. I realized I got that scoreboard around the wrong way. I meant 12 points for Samoa, 7 to the Fijians, but now Samoa extending their lead, 19 points to 7. Nauli Vaia breaking through Mothinotangi. Another 2 meters or so, maybe would have been just short of the line, but the power that Nauli Vaia has, he's actually now up to 5 tries, I believe, throughout this Singapore Sevens. So he's making a bit of a late jump towards possible second place if he gets himself another try in this game. 5 tries for Nauli Vaia, 3 line breaks, 19 carries throughout this competition with 6 minutes remaining on the clock. That's another try will be possible. Foy Falaniko going to be kicking off this one for the Samoans once again here. They will be feeling pretty happy about this scoreline, although they will know that it's not quite enough to get the victory as of yet. They still need one more try to keep Fiji completely out of the game. Vailawa put down extremely hard, and because of it, the ball has come free and Samoa back in position. Va'apilo Maliko goes for the chip in behind, has got plenty of pace, tries a bit of a push there. Might have been the penalty. Yes, it is. Oh, he's been dropped there by Bate Taringa afterwards as well. Big shot into the ribs. Va'apilo Maliko quite slow getting up. Are they going to check this one? Is that the tactic from Va'apilo Maliko? He might just be quite winded because he got absolutely smashed. And it's always the shot that you don't see that hurts the most. Okay, Va'apilo Maliko looks like he's going to try and run it off. He's a tough individual. Now, Waisi and Natungu looking to kick this one towards the touchline. And a bit of the territory game needs to make sure it goes out, and it certainly does. Try your best, Manu Samoa. Says Peter Stowers. We're just going to see Vailawa to be able to get up and take that ball. He did extremely well, but then unfortunately just got slammed down awkwardly. Ended up getting a little bit too top-heavy in the way that he did for Talatholo. Now on the halfway line, inside Baltimore, Thinotangi. Should mention that if this game goes to golden point time, it means that we do once again get a little bit of extra sevens action before the men's final between Argentina and New Zealand. But I think if this one goes to golden point time, heavily favours the Fijians, mainly because Samoa, they will be feeling exhausted after having it in their last game. Now Mothinotangi looping around. Nice work there with the offload from Ioane Teba. Close to the line, but Titaringa finds the offload to Mothinotangi. Another offload coming for Teba. He will score this time. And that's going to be nicely done by the Fijians. They are back into the contest. Like I mentioned, 12 points is not enough to be able to get yourself a win over Fiji. They will fight back. They did do it in that matchup up against the Kiwis as well. Just those lack of conversions going over. It did slightly cost them, but brilliant work from Ioane Teba. And also, Fiji Sevens team is pathetic, says Susan. I mean, I always talk about it that they get a bad rap, I think, the Fijian team. They're still sitting third in the overall rankings. They made it through to the final last week after being undefeated up till that point. They have got some ups and downs, of course, but like overall, they're still one of the top sides in the sevens, and they've got the points in the overall standings to prove it. They are relatively consistently getting in that top 4 or 8. And fire up Samoa, says Kerr. No, please, no golden time, says Kerr. Go the Manu, says Soseni there. Right, time is back on. 3 minutes 40 remaining. Now for the Fijians, the kick was successful. In fact, no, sorry, the kick was unsuccessful, I should say. They are down by currently 7. Samoa in position just outside of their 22, off to the left. Nice attack and run inside ball. I believe that would have actually been number 25, Pelosi Talpo, not getting a huge amount of time throughout the sevens competition. Vavasa Afasua dragged down just inside of Fijian territory now. Motu Opitai, ball on the outside to Fa'afoi Falaneko. He has dropped that one, knocked it on, and it becomes a penalty as he had a player in front of him. Fire up Samoa, says Kerr there. Now the Fijians, 3 minutes to work. That is more than enough time for Fiji, not just to get themselves one try, but perhaps get themselves another. I always want New Zealand to beat Fiji, but Fiji sets the bar. Oh, we should be grateful to them, says David the Mod. Exactly right. Like the Flying Fijians, they're one of the sides that really put sevens on the map with the unorthodox yet emphatic way that they play the game with the offloading. I feel like in a in a way, Argentina's current style with the way that they offload and whatnot would have come from watching the Fijians and the way that they have been able to do it in the past and the way that they've found success through doing it. So Fiji are going to be making a sub. Not sure who it is going to be that is going off the field. Doesn't look like even Fiji know. Who's supposed to be on the field? I think they've sorted it out. They were just trying to work out who was onside and who was offside. I think one of the Samoans was a little bit flat for that line out, but now nicely taken by Josefa Talatholo. The voice is struggling. Hopefully it lasts for the last about 17 minutes of the Sevens that we will be covering, including the final. Ioani Teba once again goes off to the left-hand side, skip pass out now. The hands of the big man, Motino Thangi. Ball on the outside to Josefa Talatholo. He breaks through. It's going to be the try for Fiji. And absolutely Hamish hit the nail on the head. Says David the Mob, but Talatholo, that is now his 5th try in the Singapore Sevens. If he gets himself another, he'll be sitting in 2nd at this stage of the competition. But Motino Thangi, ball on the outside to Talatholo. And I always say it, his legs, if you don't tie up both of them, he's gone. His arms, if you don't tie up both of them, he's offloading. Whaamalosi Manu Samoan says Peter Stowers. That kick is over, so now the score sitting 19 points to 19 with 100 seconds left on the clock now. The Fijians striking back late here. See Balatha. Yeah, so the red the previous game means that Balatha is going to be missing out. How long left, says Stephen Pope? 1 minute 20 remaining on the clock. Slap back by Motino Thangi. That's taken in the air. Tuna Tuitama, I think he had a brain fade, and that's going to be a yellow card now against the Samoans. There's even going to be more momentum for the Fijians possible. It is from that takes the man out in the air, just lack of discipline, lack of thinking from Tuna Tuitama. Really strange. Disappointed though, Tuna Tuitama. And go to Manu says Soseni. And also true that, brother Nate. And shake my head says Bands Blaze. And speaking of nails, this is the nail biter right here. It certainly is. Now for the rest of the game, Tuitama will not be returning to the field. And the Samoans will be playing with 6 against the 7 of Fiji. And that will actually be the case for some of Golden Point time if they do go that far in this contest. But 1 minute 7 remaining. Final is going to be kicking off in 11 minutes time. Now, all fed in by the Fijians. Going off to the right-hand side. Now the Fijians, nice big run from Logan Amasi. Almost lost his shorts in the process. Getting over the ball. Fiji giving away the penalty for not releasing. And who wants to make a deal, says Pizza Blaze. What is said deal, Paddy? Do let me know. Now Uli Vaya, now cutting on the inside. Kerr's normally a man who's pretty decent with deals. Now going off to the left-hand side. Owen Nue. No, in fact, yeah, it is Owen Nue. I thought it was. Now loose ball. My Samoa tries to grab it. Did he knock it on? The referee says no. Logan Amasi finding another offload. Nadovalo gonna score it with 10 seconds remaining on the clock. In fact, it's Veilawa again who scores the last minute try. He now moves up to 6 tries throughout this one. Pointless trivia. Sevens was created by a butcher who played rugby. The tournament was to raise money for a club. Oh, nice. And also, I can't watch any more. Thanks, bro. Says MJ. Well, hopefully you turned off before that one, MJ. Unless, of course, you're going for Fiji, then you're good. If you're going for Samoa, it's not so great. What a try, says Cohen. And yeah, nervous right now, my bro. And bad mistakes, says King T. Yeah, a very crucial mistake being made by Tuna Tuitama, getting the yellow card. Ever since then, the momentum was even more in favor of the Flying Fijians, and they will take out this victory over the Samoans in score 19 points to 24. I mentioned it at halftime. I said that with it being 19 points to 7 down, the Samoans have not yet won this game. I said they would need one more try. They weren't able to get it in the end. And Piku wins the final. If they lose, we swap legs, so you have an injury and I don't. Says Panzer. Well, it depends if you want a hamstring injury, because that's what I've got at the moment. So if you prefer a hamstring rather than a calf or a shin injury, maybe we can make a deal. But yeah, I'm limping around all over the place at the moment. That is going to be the end of the game. 24 points to 19 in favour of the Fijian Samoa. They had a valiant effort. Another close game, though, going against them. The good news is they will close out fourth place. Yes, please, if there's injury, bro. Maybe we can mix it up. If I have the shin injury, it will feel like something different than the hammy. Hamish needs his legs for squats next time, no. Are they weighted squats or just squats, out of curiosity? I think squats would be fine, wouldn't they? Weighted would break me. Great fight back from Fiji to finish third overall. BS, says Chris. Like, as in, like, the result, Chris, or just in general? And also, I had to stop watching for a little bit. So I watched Shawshank Redemption. And thanks for the coverage, bro, from Fiji, says Mike King. No worries at all. Do appreciate every single one of you being here. Our next Sevens competition will be in 32 days' time. That's actually the next time that they will be playing. That is in Toulouse. We will be covering that one on the channel, as well as London, which is the following leg. But I should mention as well, we've got plenty more rugby, plenty more cricket, plenty more sport, gaming in general coming up on the Kiwi Lads channel. So if you are new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. And see you next time. Great coverage. And thank you for the commentary. Kiwi Lad. Or sorry, Hamish says Peter Stowers there as well. But thank you very much. I'm thinking start at 50 normal squats. Every question answered correctly reduces squats by 1. Ugh. 50 normal squats is a lot of squats, isn't it? But questions, George knows some stuff, so he might be able to help me out for those ones. I assume if we get through all of the squats that we're supposed to, I assume it's like those other ones, how you're going to be a very generous individual. Which I should mention, hopefully you aren't sleep deprived when you do, because or else I'll feel slightly worse if that was the case. And to lose easy, stairs, beds ablaze, and it's cold. Yeah, she's a bit chilly. 11 degrees at the moment for us, so that's actually a little bit better than I thought that we would be today. But I think it's supposed to rain a lot throughout the week, which does mean we might have more time to do some filming, Kiwi Lads videos, and whatnot as well. But thank you all very much for tuning into this one. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. The night is not done for the Sevens in 3 minutes' time. That's 4. Get rid of that. 3 minutes' time, we are going to be back for our next live stream. That is going to be the matchup between New Zealand and Argentina for the men's final. Ours is 15 and rain here, says Kevin, and the ice on my leg is cold. Stairs pads ablaze. Lucky the blood in your body is warm. Hopefully it eventually evens itself out. And thanks, Hamish, New Zealand, to win this one. Stairs King T and there as well. But yeah, nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. I will be popping over to that next live stream now. I will see you all a very short